Good evening, StreamYard and YouTube fans. I've been trying to mess with some OBS, but I don't know it well enough to record using it. I wish I did, because instead of having to switch from camera to camera, I could do my main camera and my two side cameras all at once. So you'd see me and any game boards I had, or any other materials that I would have. Like in this instance, I'm going to share with you. This is this here is one of the game sheets for one of the last three uh, Glory Days boxing videos that I did offline. I had Mickey Walker versus Marvin Hagler, and Mickey Walker's trait was any foul was -5 stamina, and Marvin Hagler had +1 to will and +3 if he was tired. In the first round, we had 105, and then he hit Mickey Walker, landed 12 punches, and you can see that the first two judges gave it to Mickey there, and the last judge gave it to Marvin Hagler, and he started with 110. And then the first round, he got a gash to the right eye. Marvin Hagler did. And also, Mickey Walker had one foul. And Marvin Hagler landed 6 punches in the first round. In the second round, Walker had 8 punches land, and he won all 3. And so it was kind of a 19. Oh no, I'm sorry, he didn't win all 9. It was 19. It was that whole set was tied in the second round. Marvin Hagler landed a punch. He got knocked down. He had one foul. And Hagler got a cut to the right cheek as well in the first round. In the third round, you see that stamina for Walker went to 83. He had 2 punches land. 29. So he got that first judge's 10 vote, which mean it was 10-9, and then so he lost this round to the by the 2 and 3 judges, and Marvin Hagler won according to the to that third round there, and he had 9 punches land. And we went to the beginning of the fourth round. It was a TKO, and that was Hagler lost this fight at the beginning of the fourth round, from the cut to the right, to the gash to the right eye from the first round, and I was kind of really strange and odd that happens, but it does. Um, it, yeah, it does happen. Yeah, but Hager lost that. And what happened there is when you get that gash to the right eye, the way I play it anyway, is I check to see if it's been reopened or re-injured, and that's kind of what happened at the beginning of the fourth round. I checked, and he was okay. Hey, Sean, I'm just kind of reviewing. I did 3 Glory Days boxing fights recently offline, and I wasn't able to show it because my usage was like down to 3 minutes. And yeah, it it uh, it took a while. Uh, but the first matchup was Mickey Walker versus Marvin Hagler, and Hagler lost this because of a TKO at the beginning of the fourth round. Basically, what happened is he got a gash to the right eye in the first round, and the successive rounds 2 and 3, that gash didn't affect the fight, but in the fourth round, it did affect the fight to where Hagler got a TKO, and he wasn't able to continue. That was my first fight. My second fight, what I did is I did a Wilder Fury matchup, and this was my take on Saturday's fight. And this was, I'm going to show this down. This was really strange and interesting because you'll note that Wilder got knocked down in the first, the second, the fifth, and then in the 11th round. And Fury got knocked down in the third, the fourth, and the fifth round. As a matter of fact, in the fifth round, both Wilder and Fury got knocked down together. And it was really, really strange and odd. And when it happened, I did not really know what to do at all because there was still time on the clock. I didn't know if I should skip a segment because the idea of both fighters getting hurt, or not, and that's one of the questions I asked Rob. Well, what happens when both fighters get knocked out? Usually, when a fighter gets knocked down, the next round, the person who punched him out gets a free uncontested shot. But when both fighters go down, I guess it's kind of play as you need. No, Sean, I wish I would have. It looked like, from what I understand, that it was very, very good, very interesting. Wilder has the what's called the Iceman quality, and it's +1 to opponent's chin KO. So if he has a 3, that means it's a 4 type thing. And Fury has the roll with it, which is -1 from opponent's power. So basically, if an opponent has a 6 for their power, that means it's now a 5. And Fury got a TKO in this in the 11th round with basically 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go. And I used this was the first time that I used a referee and 3 judges that were on the score sheet. The judges weren't really that bad. Doggett wasn't really a a very great judge because basically for him, you pretty much just rolled and you looked off the sheet, and it was you're good to go. Um, so basically, it was just like rolling your normal dice, and then looking at whether it was 2-point differential, 3-point differential, 12-point differential, or whatever. And then the last fight I had was uh, Mike O'Dowd versus Ray Robinson, and this one I believe was a middleweight fight. Um, and you'll notice that O'Dowd had a cut to the right eye in the first round. Um, there were no fouls to either player, no knockdowns. In the second round, Ray Robinson was knocked down. In the seventh round, there was a swelling to the right eye, and then you'll see the gash to the right eye. And that gash to the right eye was another one of those that at the beginning of the ninth round, um, there was a check. Can I do a Floyd Mayweather versus Ray Robinson? Yeah, I can do that if you want me to. Let me write that down here. Okay. This is Ray Robinson. I've heard those names before. I will check, and those will be the. I'll schedule that up for one of my upcoming uh, Friday night fights. And I apologize to everybody for not being here on Friday, but like I said, my my uh, uh, my StreamYard usage was down to like 3 minutes, and I couldn't go on. And I've downloaded OBS, and I'd love to learn how to use this because I can with OBS I can have my middle camera, my main camera from the computer, and my two opposing cameras, which like right now you can see my sheet, whereas with StreamYard I have to flip to my extra camera, and that will show you my dice there. But when I show you see the dice, you can't see me. Well, with OBS, you can actually see all three of us at once. And my question here is, if you see these dice, can you name these games, Sean, just by looking at the dice? I'll tell you what, this bag shouldn't be that hard, and this bag shouldn't be that hard. Neither should the third one there, but this one you might have trouble with. You can't. This is your APA cards dice. Basically, it's two red and and uh, and basically it's a red and white, a red and white, and red white, and that's my baseball, my golf, and my hockey. These are your glory days of boxing dice. You've got your 10-sided dice, your 6-sided dice, and over here you have your 20-sided dice, and then of course the tokens. The two red, I mean, you have the red and the blue, and the green token is for your timer. And this bag in the back here, this is your red, white, and blue racing, because you've got the black and the steel ones. That's how you can figure out the outcome. And then you got your red, white, and blue dicing for like pedal to the metal and stuff like that. And then this one, I haven't used these yet, but these dice are for the Whoa Nelly football game. So yeah, and and then if you really wanted to, there's the idea of strat in here as well. Would be like two red dice, one white dice, and a 20-sided dice. That would be strat. But that's one of the things I was kind of wanting to see, if people knew their games well enough just to be able to know them just from the dice. And I know that Chris has a lot of dice, and I kind of wonder if he could do that. I can do that because I don't have that many dice. I do have extra dice, but those are the games that I pretty much have and use and stuff like that. I use mostly the Glory Days boxing, and I use the APA ones for baseball. And I have used the red, white, and blue, but not enough to, I haven't done it enough as much as Rob has. Um, but I was thinking, I will be here this Friday uh, for Friday night fights, and because you missed out on a Friday night fight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little bit extra different, and that's I'm going to start at 6 o'clock, and I'm going to have two fights. I was going to have the basically the idea of Tyson versus what Joshua. I think the fighter that's supposed to fight Fury next, and yeah, because his name's Antonio Joshua or Anthony Joshua. I was going to have Anthony Joshua fight Mike Tyson, and I was going to have uh, Tyson Fury fight Muhammad Ali. But since Sean gave us the idea of Floyd Mayweather versus Ray Robinson, I'm going to do that as my first fight, and the second fight will be Tyson Fury versus Ali. Let's see if yeah, Anthony Joshua. Yeah, that was going to be my first fight, was Anthony Joshua versus Mike Tyson. And my second fight was going to be Tyson Fury versus Ali. But we'll go with the Floyd Mayweather versus Ray Robinson for the first card. And for the second card, we're going to go with Tyson Fury and Ali. And what I'll do is Floyd Mayweather and Ray Robinson will go first, and I'll take a 10-minute break between fights, and then come back and do the Ali versus Fury fight. See if Fury can knock out Ali, because that's one of the things I asked Rob as well. Is do you think Fury could knock out Ali? Well, this Friday we're going to find out if Fury can knock out Ali, and if so, we're going to see, does it go the full 15 or not? And yeah, I when a guy, when they hurt their eardrum, it's like it's like you kind of he almost gets put in like the class of Ali, where he fought and fought and fought, but at the end of his career, when he was left to his you know retirement age, it just affected his body in that. And yeah, saying equilibrium is off, but that could be a rest of your life thing, you know? Um, and nobody wants an opponent to get pummeled to death to the point where they can barely function as a human being. Nobody wants that. I mean, look at Ray Boom Boom Mancini when he hit Dooku Kim, and killed him in the ring. I hate to say it, but he was never the same fighter. Yeah, Sean's right. I mean, Wilder should retire. He has no. I mean, his if his trainers and that had anything to say about it, they'd say, "Sorry, guy, you can't. We're not gonna train you anymore, because you're a liability more than anything else." You know. Um, but yeah, um, I mean, if anybody knows the OBS software and how to use it, and use it correctly, I would. I got my hand up, because I would love to know how to use it and use it correctly, because I tried earlier. I mean, I tried to do create an event and tried to get it going, and I just couldn't figure it out. So I went back to StreamYard. So, but I eventually want to use OBS, and because of the fact that I can use all three of my cameras all at once, which would be great. Um, and yeah, you hear people talking about the idea of a Fury Wilder 3. I don't think it's going to happen, for the simple fact of what we just talked about. Just, you're never the same. Uh, and the other thing is, even if you do get to that point, Wilder would have to show himself uh, better than when he fought Fury just Saturday, and that would mean that he would have to lose the 30 pounds that he gained, for one, and he would have to show himself in control, and having no ear problem and whatnot, and being able to fight like a fighter should. And I I don't see it, guys. I just don't see it. Uh, fighter Fury should fight Ruiz. I don't know anything about Ruiz, so I couldn't say anything about that. But yeah, but you and I both know that'll be decided by the promoters. So will it be Ruiz? Possibly. Uh, but I think the promoters want to put uh, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury together first, and then I heard uh, Anthony Joshua has an upcoming fight. So if you know how that goes, if he gets knocked out in that fight, then he's not going to be able to fight Fury. You know, um, Holyfield's glad he didn't have to fight Ruiz. Yeah, I know that this coming Saturday, uh, UFC has their 248. I think it is. Yeah, I think it's their 248 fight coming up, and I'm not sure who the big card on that is. But they got their next match set for this Saturday. It's their 248 card. So I don't know who will win that. Um, and when I was thinking about this game today, I thought an interesting take on Glory Days of boxing would be like three fighters in the ring. You know, how would that work? And the other thing would be the idea of possibly four fighters in the ring. That would be an interesting matchup as well because you'd have to have four toe to toe to toe dice in order for them all to be in the center together or wherever together, outside, inside. But I do know that if you had like, you could do I think three would be possible, but if two fighters got toe to toe, they would be fighting, and the other person basically would be in the background for that particular round, and he would be out of the punches and that, so he wouldn't get any punches landed. Um, Now, and the other two fighters would go toe to toe, and there would be a possibility that all three fighters could go toe to toe. And then the other possibility would be like I could think of like where you had the first fighter, winds up hitting the second and the third fighters and combinations thereof. Um, so yeah. So well, that's all I kind of have for you tonight, guys. I actually, you might see two 43s on YouTube. I don't know, but the StreamYard one's the longer one here, and I will let you go tonight. I hope your dice rolls are all 1s and 66s if you're doing baseball. I hope that you get your pedal to the metal if you're doing red, white, and blue racing. And when it comes to Glory Days, I hope it's a TKO or a decision or a split. However, you can get that win. So, good night. I love you guys, and so does God. Take care.